What really matters is that you have some sort of indicator in the playing piece that shows the aircraft's true location. So if I zoom in a little bit on these Mirages, let's say, you'll see this small blue dot in the center of the aircraft. That is showing the plane's true location. So as the plane rotates here in our virtual environment, you'll see obviously that it's, that the blue dot has remained more or less steady. So that's where the plane really is. So for ranging, for distance, for movement, that's what we're using. Is that blue dot for position. But obviously that's what the plane generally looks like. So the plane has to be a little bit bigger. Obviously, if this plane was to scale with the map, you would barely see it. It would be like, less than a pixel. But that, whoa, I zoomed out too much. But that's more or less what we're looking at here. Again, 3 French-built Mirages versus 2 Navy Sea Harriers. This is the first day, if we go to the scenario real fast. This is out of the Operation Corporate. Come on, copy over. It's not copying over. Oh my God. Come on, Excel, be nice. Be nice to Daddy for a change. All right. This is the, yeah. I have to coax Excel sometimes. She's a very precocious child. Okay, so let me go ahead and refresh this real fast. So hopefully we see Operation Corporate here to the upper right, to the upper. This was the supplement that they came out with for Air War C-21.
Sorry, Jim, we're having a little audio problem. I think we got it fixed. It automatically reverted some, but I think everybody can hear us now. So you can go.
I'm sorry.
No, just the software sometimes wants to throw a temper tantrum.
I know how that goes. Okay, so I'm not sure when I cut out there. I noticed that we dropped off the stream there for a moment, but it looks like we're coming back after an ad. Okay, so to kind of recap, this is the Operation Corporate. That was the code name for the British counter-invasion down into the Falklands. Super fast, context. Falkland Islands are 2 tiny islands way down in the very, very far south of the South Atlantic, right next to Argentina. Argentina has always considered them part of Argentina. Great Britain has considered them part of her overseas possessions. In 1982, the Argentinians invaded the Falklands and hoped that the British wouldn't do anything about it. They were obviously very wrong. The British did do something about it. They called it Operation Corporate, and they mounted a counter-invasion in the spring and summer of 1982 to retake the Falklands. That's Operation Corporate. That is the supplement that they came out with for Air War C-21. With scenarios specifically for the Falkland War of 1982. So the name of the scenario is literally First Crack. It's May the 1st. This is the first day of the British, counter-invasion, so to speak. The British task force that's built around HMS Hermes, HMS Invincible, has just crossed the 200-mile exclusion zone. That's the official war zone in the South Atlantic. And pretty much a combat air patrol. 2 Sea Harriers have come across an incoming raid of 3 Argentinian Mirages. That's supposed to be ensuing the insurance battle. The ensuing battle was the first real combat test of the Sea Harrier. So long story short, you've got 2 Sea Harriers. I've got 3 Argentinian Mirage 3s. It's a very, very simple scenario. We find the enemy and we have a dogfight. No objectives, no bombing, no cruise missiles, no exocets yet. Nothing crazy. We're literally just meeting in the skies and having a battle.
Awesome. Good old-fashioned slugfest.
Yep. Obviously, the game gets a lot more serious. People who are familiar with the Falklands War know about the exocet cruise missile strikes against HMS Sheffield and Atlantic Conveyor. They know about the bombing of HMS Galahad outside of Fitzroy. They know about they called it Bomb Alley in San Carlos Sound on the other side of East Falkland Island. There's all kinds of very serious Argentinian SAMs, British SAMs. You got the Sea Wolf, you got the Sea Dart, you've got 40mm anti-aircraft guns, support of ground forces bombing Argentinian artillery targets right outside of Port Stanley. There's all kinds of stuff, but for today, again, we're just kind of getting our feet wet, so to speak, and we're trying a simple dogfight.
Awesome.
So, The first part of the game is to see the direction from which everyone's coming on. Here's our map again. It's roughly a kilometer to a box. Very, very rough. This sort of ground graphic here at the bottom of the screen is more or less decorative. This is obviously the northeastern corner of East Falkland Island. This battle probably took place much further out at sea, but a big blue rectangle was going to make for a boring stream, so we threw some graphics in there. But what we're doing first is, per the scenario rules, we're going to each roll 2d6, and here's our copy of the map. We're looking at 2d6, and the result here on these numbers corresponds to our entry vector.
Uh-huh.
And if you roll a 12, that means you get to pick.
Oh, okay.
From wherever you want to come on the map. Obviously, there's no 12 on here. So me as the Argentinian, I'm going to go ahead and roll 2d6 real fast. I get snake eyes. So I'm coming in right out of the, I'm coming in on a 315. I'm coming out of the northwest.
Okay.
So I'm going to take my 3 mirages. I'm going to point them to the southeast a little bit. And I'm just going to shove them up here for now, and we'll worry about initiative in a few minutes. So pretty much I have to come in from somewhere in Sector 2, corresponding to our little area of the map down here. So Gianna, HMS Hermes has detected these aircraft coming in. They're now yelling to you and your wingman over the wireless, and they're saying intercept these guys and show them that we're serious about holding onto the Falklands.
Okay. You know, just a quick observation. I think the sides are a little unfair, Jim. There's 3 of you to my 2. I think there should be at least 6 of you to my 2. Just saying.
We'll get to that.
Just saying.
Okay.
All right, let me roll my 2 dice. You know, I'm going to talk a lot of smack. It's not very British of me, but I'm going to talk smack. So.
There you go.
All right.
Are you feeling better yet?
I got a 7.
Just tell me when to stop.
I got a 7. So.
Okay.
That looks fair.
These radar ghosts. Okay.
All right.
Oh, cool.
All right, so I'm coming in at the.
On one of our streams. Where is Warzan?
Warzan.
Oh, cool. You know what? Hello, Warzan. Thanks very much for stopping by our stream. I have not seen updates on the Twitch for some reason. I don't know what's going on there.
It's in the text box there.
Oh, there it is. Not enough screen to go up against all the planets.
I don't need to talk trash. Warren's doing it himself.
There you go.
All right, so I rolled a 7, Jim, for my entry. So.
Okay.
Do you want to start me down in the bottom corner, or where do you?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. This is good because what we've had with Blades Runner and I have been play testing these is that the Harriers kind of roll like you would roll a 2, I would roll a 2, and the British would roll an 11. That's actually happened once or twice.
Really?
It's not very good for the British. It's just luck of the dice.
Woo.
Okay, I'm going to try and log into Twitch here on my phone because my computer is kind of cramping out on me as far as keeping up with the stream and the comments.
So somebody asked Warzan, how's Mary? Don't worry, we're going to give Mary a run for her money today. Pilots do a lot of talking over the line.
Nice.
It's going to be great to be in aviation again.
Cut the chat at red 2. Accelerate to attack speed. Okay, wrong game, but that's all right. I know I still have too many ghost images here. Here we go. Hollywood, we've got a problem here. Aircraft not bringing up 1 pair, 2 pair, repeat 4 bogeys. All right.
Oh, are we going to be quoting Top Gun all day today? That Iron Eagle. Ooh, Iron Eagle.
Oh no, Iron Eagle.
Hey, the soundtrack.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. Soundtrack for
Iron Eagle.
If you can find it,
I have it. I could be playing it in the background right now.
So initiative is a D10, and I didn't roll that great. A 2, a 5, and a 6 are my initiatives for my 3 mirages. So when you get a chance, G, give me 2 D10s for your initiative. Higher is better.
2 D10s. Do you trust me? Do I need to put a camera on the dice tray? All right.
Absolutely not.
All right.
You're on the honor system here.
So are we doing this as percentile?
No, just 1d10 for each of your Harriers. So
I gotcha.
Harriers,
well, I rolled a 10 and a 6.
Awesome. Okay, so my 2 and a 5 definitely have to go first. So it's almost like Darkstar, everyone, where you're in Twitch. I'm trying to see what's going on in the chat. Where you roll initiative and the lowest planes go first. The losers go first, basically.
Yep. Yeah, it's very similar to X-Wing as well.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to be coming on my speed. Oh, you know what? We don't need this. We don't need this to be that big anymore. I need to clear my speed as my max speed for my Mirages is 20. So that's just short of Mach 2. And 1 inch of speed in this game is equal to 50 miles an hour. It's equal to 50 knots is the general rule. So just short of 1,000 miles an hour. I'm just short of Mach 2. It's like Mach 1.5 is roughly what 20 is.
Fantastic.
I'm not going to be going on that fast. Yeah, so these Harriers aren't very fast.
No, Harriers are not meant to be fast.
Yeah.
I mean, in a way, if you think about it, while you're doing your stuff, I don't mean to distract you, but I do. The Harrier is a British answer to almost an A-10 in the aspect of what it was designed to do. It's supposed to be close air support, so it's not as survivable as an A-10, but it was theoretically meant to do the same thing, close air support.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the issue for the British in the Falklands was these planes were the only ones that they could carry aboard their quote-unquote carriers. I'm not trying to trash anybody's Navy here, but the only 2 carriers that the British really had at the time, HMS Hermes, HMS Invincible.
But they weren't real carriers. They were, what do they call them?
Exactly.
Jump carriers or something like that?
Helicopter carriers or... Okay, so obviously everybody can see my little ruler that is scaled with our map. I'm staying within my number 2 entry zone that I rolled earlier. And I'm using the center dot of my plane to measure my 16-inch movement for Mirage 1 and 2.
Sorry, I'm reading a comment. Tuffy Years put, the irony of this game, British versus the Argentines, played by Yanks who didn't want anything to do with it at the time.
By the way, British, you're welcome for all those sidewinders. Without which you would have totally lost this war. You're welcome, you're welcome, you're welcome. I'll get off my soapbox now. I always jump on this at least once.
You see Tough Year's comment?
Jen, I'm not seeing any comments for some reason. I've got the Twitch stream going, but it's not showing me any comments.
Tough Year says the irony of the game is British versus gents being played by 2 Yanks who didn't want to get involved in the thing in the first place.
Yeah, G just read that one to me. Alrighty.
It's like bringing the flies into the spider web.
Right. Now we've got 2 6s. That's a tiebreaker, so I'm going to roll a d10 for a tiebreaker.
Okay.
I roll a 7.
I roll a 5. So
so now you're moving your first Harrier on the table.
Yep.
It's got to be pretty much anywhere in this general sector, so the southeastern third of the map.
Okay, so the question I have is how do we identify each Harrier, when we start mixing stuff up? Is there a counter or number on
there's
it?
Harrier, there's
1 and 2.
Harrier
Gotcha.
1
okay.
And Harrier 2.
Perfect. All right.
So the eastern or the southeastern third of the map. So again, it's a 72-inch table.
Yep.
Quote unquote. Well, there's 24 inches. Anywhere in that sector you can come in on at any speed between 4 and 13. And at any heading. Just let me know what heading.
Okay, so we'll do Harrier 1 as this one.
Yep.
We'll come in at 14. Keep it at that angle. And let's move 7.
Cool. I have a shorter version of that ruler over here.
So, Jim, just for everybody who's watching, if other people wanted to participate in the game, is it set up for both players to interact with the table, or does it just you drive?
Yeah, what we're able to do is the answer is both. So what we're able to do with this web conference software is it's a shared desktop experience or whatever. People can log into the meeting, and I basically give you keyboard, mouse, and controls, and you can move your own pieces around.
Perfect. Okay.
That's absolutely not a problem. It's just that with some of our Dark Star games, Valor and Victory games, Panzer Leader games, we've been doing this for all kinds of systems.
Yeah.
A lot of times, people just prefer to tell me where they're going because there's an internet lag and the mouse isn't quite where they think it is, and they wind up picking up the map, and then we have an earthquake like that.
Yep.
It's really just personal preference.
Of course.
But long story short is we can totally support both.
And for full disclosure, we had it set up in OBS, and we didn't want to change any settings and not make the time for the broadcast. And I'm perfectly happy with just being the CAG. That's the commander of the air group. I don't know what the British equivalent is. And just telling them where to go. So we've got several people. Rasmus has joined us. Rasmus, good to see you again. Hope you enjoyed Adepticon. It was good to see you at Adepticon, having our own little backstagers meet up there during the roundtable discussion. And LSR has joined us. So thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, LSR and Rasmus were on our Dark Star game yesterday.
Awesome.
And they said they were going to try and stop by.
So it's pretty nice having our own little gamers club via the internet, for those who aren't able to go to the awesome On Tabletop game club there in Ireland, it's a nice way to, be able to play some games together.
It is pretty cool. We played Dark Star in China, Australia, Canada, Puerto Rico, all over the U.S., Ireland, and England. So we've been on 4 continents and counting. Yeah. I'm still looking for somebody in Africa, South America, and eventually we'll get someone in.
All right, fine, so. Jim. I'll go to Africa.
There you go. Get on that. I was going to send you to Antarctica, but that's okay.
Have you seen outside my window? We're getting about 3 inches of snow as we speak.
Oh my God! Can I come live with you for a while?
No.
It's already getting hot down here.
Yeah, they have a killer storm.
Oh no.
Yeah, we're getting snow.
Okay.
It was 70 degrees the other day.
I'm actually kind of jealous.
Are you really? Well, if you want to come up and play in the snow, it'll be gone tomorrow because we're supposed to go back up to 50 tomorrow.
We're entering the terrible part of our year.
I would love to live in South Florida. Love it down there. Hot and humidity. That's my way.
No, it's hot, humidity, and hurricanes.
All right, so where are we at?
3 H's. All right, I have moved my 3rd Mirage.
Okay.
It's pretty much just all staying together.
All right, so it's...
they're all at 16 at the moment.
Okay, so it's my last Harrier to come on. All right, I want my Harrier to come on 17. And same angle as Harrier 1. And put them up to 9.
All right. Where's my little movers? Now, in a full turn, and we'll come to this in future turns, what you would do is, you're declaring your speed as 9.
Yep.
You move 4.5 inches. You make a turn if you want.
Right.
You move 4.5 more inches, and then you make. But right now, we're just pretty much on an approach.
Perfect.
So we started off at 9. We're heading up to 0. So he's going to be a little bit further ahead of his wingman there. Actually, he is the wingman. He's Harrier too. And we're recording his speed at 9.
Yep.
Okay, so that gets through segment 1. Here's another great thing about gaming like this is you have a turn-by-turn, phase-by-phase, pre-made battle report.
Fantastic.
Getting any snow as well, Rasmus? I'm finally starting to get some...
I don't think the snow's gotten that far east yet.
Okay. Okay, so nobody's going over speed. Nobody's going slow.
Nope.
Actually, we're not on that yet. Okay, let's go to weapons fire. We are still very far apart.
Yeah.
Don't think anyone's in range for...
Where are China?
We are at least 44 inches away from each other, so we're not even close for my...
All right, so which Harrier am I flying?
flying the 2 Harriers.
No, which model? It's FR, right?
The one that's highlighted. The ones that's highlighted in yellow.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to reference my chart, and there's like 7 different versions listed here. That's why I was asking.
God, yeah. We're technically in the FRS 1. I don't even know if it's in the main book.
It's not in the main book because I don't see it. Okay, yeah. No worries then. Then I'll just rely on your chart there.
There's 3 basic books.
Okay.
There's the Air War C-21, which is pretty much 1980s afterwards. That's why you don't see these old FRS ones that came out in 1978. Same with the Mirage East. I think that book starts off like the Mirage 2000. So let's make this blue for the Argentinians and I would say red for the British. Oh my god, come on, be nice, be nice. I'm trying to do something cool. There we go. So those are the 2 kinds of planes. There's lots available here. And this is just for the Falklands.
Yeah.
Guys, there's like 45 pages of charts in the data annex book. That's where you find these planes. And it's not because the game requires 45 pages of charts to play. It gives you that many choices. Once you have the data annex book and the main book, which are both available at War Games Vault for like $10, like it's a very, very reasonable game.
And you find this on which site?
War Games Vault is where I found it.
They have a lot of good stuff there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
you can play anything from future 2030s combat between like Chinese, like next generation, like MiG-29s, SU-27s, and they have the JSF F-35 Lightning, all this crazy stuff. And you can go all the way back to Korea. You can do F-86 Sabres versus MiG-15s and anything in between at a reasonable level of detail.
Yeah.
So there's a lot available there. Obviously, I cooked that down ahead of time to just do Falkland stuff, and so we're definitely okay. As far as data goes, and I'm not even close, even with my longer range missiles yet. So there's no weapons fire.
No, I'm way out of range as well. I mean, I'm using sparrows, right, or sidewinders?
Sidewinders.
Yeah, they're way out of range.
So I'm gonna roll 3 more dice for initiative for turn 2. We're actually turn 1, phase 2. Every.
Oh no! Oh wait, we're doing D10s. Duh. Oh no! 2 and a 4.
Good news. We're so far apart that initiative barely matters.
Yeah.
It's when you get in the dogfight.
Yeah.
That's when it becomes really important. Okay, so we have a tiebreaker for 2s. I have a 3. You have a tiebreaker for your 2?
I got a 6.
All right, so you won that initiative.
Okay.
So I will move my 2 first. That's Mirage number 2.
Okay.
Mirage number 2. Okay, so here's how a full turn sequence works. Because we didn't really have a full. We were coming on the table. I'm going to declare whether or not I'm going to. Okay, so let me pull up them.
Are you in a maneuver?
No, I'm not going to declare any maneuvers.
Oh, okay.
Apply speed changes, and then place maneuver cards. So I'm going to apply a speed change. I'm going to see. I'm currently moving at 16. My maximum speed is 20 before my plane starts to break.
Yep.
And I can add 3 per turn.
Oh, you're coming on now, aren't you?
The only real advantage I have. I have speed and I have guns. So my missiles are terrible.
Yeah.
So I'm currently moving at 19, and I'm a medium maneuverable craft. That's another big advantage for the British. So anyone who's played X-Wing kind of gets the idea here. I'm amazed that there wasn't like an issue when X-Wing came out. This game is. It seems like X-Wing borrowed a lot from this game.
I take it this game predates X-Wing?
Yeah, this game comes out in 2007.
Okay.
At least first edition did. Okay, so I'm only allowed to turn to medium. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Sorry. Okay, so here's my initial spot on the map. I'm going to move forward 6 inches. There's little, so you don't have to use the ruler and the protractor. I have both on the same piece here.
Uh-huh.
So that's 6 inches, and 3 more all in the same facing. There, I've now moved 9 inches. I've moved half my movement.
Okay.
Actually, I had 19, so my speed is 9.5. So it's something like that. Then I make my first turn.
Uh-huh.
And I line up my tablet. I select my craft. I turn to medium. I move forward 6 inches.
Interesting.
6 more inches. And now I can make another turn up to the medium craft.
Yep.
Or the medium turning rate here. So I'm going to realign my little spin wheel here. Again, with that blue dot in the center of the aircraft.
Yep.
And he's basically doing a very high-speed S-turn. And that's pretty much where he's going to wind up at. Oops. There he is.
Okay.
No maneuverability. So now it is your turn.
Yep.
There you go. He's closing fast. Looks like he's trying to get around your left wing.
He is. He is. All right.
My buddy, he's still locked up. He's still maneuvering. Course 090.
So, what is the top speed of the Harriers again?
13.
13. Okay.
Not terribly fast.
Not terribly fast. Okay, so Harrier 2. I don't know if you can zoom in on that for me. Or
Harrier 2 does
1?
not have to go yet.
Harrier 1
has to go yet.
Okay, that's fine. Harrier 1.
Actually, I take that back. Both your Harriers have to go now. You have a 2 and a 4 for initiative.
Okay. Yeah, but I won a tie off on the initiative for 2. Remember, we rolled 2s together. And we had to do roll off.
Yeah, so now you're rolling. You're winning 2.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. I stand corrected.
Yeah,
you're right. Okay. Okay, so it's Harrier 1. Okay, so I'm going to move ahead the 7 inches.
Alrighty.
So I'm going to move the full 13.
Okay, so he is going to accelerate Harrier 1.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Harrier 1 can only go to 11. The reason is Harrier 1 can only apply 4 points of acceleration.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's at 11, which gives him a 6.5 movement rate.
Yep.
Per phase.
Yeah, because I want to do a half. I want to do a turn and complete.
Oh, yeah. There you go. There's a 6.5.
Okay, and can you zoom out just a little bit so I can see your aircraft? All right.
Yep.
And then
slight mistake. Half of 11 is 5.5.
5.5.
I know that. I know math.
It's sergeant's math.
I design words.
It's fine. You were doing sergeant's math. It's all good. All right, so.
Okay.
Then I want to turn, and he is in a.
He is an extreme craft.
Okay.
Without doing any maneuvers, and we'll get into that if you want.
Yep.
He can do a. He can turn out to the E rating.
I want to turn out to the E rating to his starboard side. Nope, that's
starboard
port.
Side.
That's port. That's starboard. There you go.
It's breaking away. Okay.
And go ahead and complete his move.
He gets 5.5 inches.
And
there
then I want to turn him.
Yep. Okay. He gets another E rating. He can go either direction.
And then I want to turn him E to the port side. So his left wing.
There we go.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay, we have a question from LSR who says whether or not the dice rolls or the initiative rolls are have any modifiers. I honestly don't remember. If they are, it's based on the pilot rating, and we're all the same pilot rating, so it almost wouldn't matter.
Yep.
Is the effective answer. The reason I just said we're all good pilots is because these are Royal Navy pilots and Argentinian Air Force. We're done with those episodes, or else we're going to be stopping. And it also just makes those maneuvers a lot more easy to do. Otherwise, I mean, I was playing with average pilots, and we were all just crashing. It was not even fun.
All right.
So that's Harrier number 1 complete. Yep. Harrier number 2, are you doing kind of the same thing?
Something
else?
Yeah. You know what? Just move him ahead. 11.
Yeah, he also accelerates to 13 if he wants. He was going a little faster before. Basically, he was doing 9, and you can add 4 to your speed.
Right, so that would put me to the full 13. Can you put the ruler up there so I can see where 13 would land him? Is there pre-measuring or no?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Everyone has radar. Actually, that's in the rules. Yes, pre-measuring is allowed.
Okay. Let's move him. Just move him up parallel to the other Harrier. Same heading. Perfect. All right, just catching up some comments while you move your guys. Warzan says he's in the studio researching Nazi UFOs. Oh Lord, Nazi here UFOs. We go again.
Why do I see a UFO appearing over Omaha Beach or something?
Excellent. It'll be like that movie that just came out. I'm assuming you didn't see it, Jim. There was a movie. I think they were zombies or something.
Overlord?
I haven't seen
Overlord, the zombie movie? No, I did not see it.
Zombie movie, a D-Day-ish thing. Rasmus says the Harriers are not really dogfighters. That's very true. They're close air support. Yeah. So they weren't really meant as, air-to-air. It was more close air, ground support. LSR says, is an issue straight roller? Or we talked about the modifiers. Tuffy Year says, do Army do maths better than Marines? Oh!
What was that?
I didn't even say it that time. Oh, wow.
Oh, no. LSR. See, you know what? LSR gets away with that because...
Oh, no, that was Tuffy Years.
Tuffy Years? Okay, yeah. I was going to say, LSR would get away with that because LSR had a Dark Star experience yesterday. Let's just put it that way. And if he has some animosity towards me, I would understand that.
Oh, that's excellent.
We do better. Apparently, Marines don't do grammar either.
Oh. Oh, that's fantastic.
I appreciate that, Tuffy Years, for making for making Gianna feel better about herself before I blow her out of the sky.
Yeah, yeah. I got to get the pleasure in while I can before these Mirages take out these poor little Harriers. So I have a question for you before we start getting into maneuvers. Yep. Because the Harriers are VSTOL, do they have an ability to stop and change at altitude? Oh, they do. Kinda.
Sort of. They have the VIF special maneuver. So here are the maneuvers, everybody, that you can do. It's 7 maneuvers pretty much for everybody except VTOL craft. VTOL craft have the VIF. Now the reason they can't just stop like a helicopter, no matter what we see in the movies, is because they're technically not VTOLs. They're vertical and short takeoff and landing. They do need a little bit of thrust. They have a minimum speed of 4. Or they will stall. They can't just stop at 0 because they're combat loaded. They have extra fuel tanks. They're carrying bombs, missiles, internal gun pods. When you see a Harrier do the things that everybody sees Harriers do, that's usually them at an air show when they're stripped down to their birthday suit, so to speak. They're not carrying anything. They're not carrying any kind of a combat load. In a combat setting, they actually can't do most of the things people think they can do. But they do have some ability to do maneuvers that Mirages cannot do. They also get double, like I said, they can turn out to the E setting here on this chart, whereas the Mirages can only turn to an M.
Yeah.
They're also considered high-power aircraft. That's their power rating. They can accelerate more than the Mirage can per turn. And because they get the high-powered rating on their engines, you'll notice that some of their difficulty numbers are a little bit easier because they're high-powered aircraft.
Yeah.
Like the Immelmans are easier for them to do. Brake turns are easier for them to do. They do have it worked into the rules pretty realistically.
That's good.
As far as what a Harrier really can do and what they really can't do.
All right.
But you're not as fast as I am by a long shot. But you are definitely more maneuverable in almost every category.
All right. Well, it looks like we're getting close. You might be able to pop a shot, huh?
We are within 26 inches, I hope. All of us?
Well, you know, Rasmus, I think you can hang on the outside of a Harrier on a skyscraper. Just saying.
Oh, there you go.
Until Lies.
Arnold, until Arnold fires you through an office building. Okay, my magics have a range out to 26. And they are semi-active rammer or homing, and they can fire from any target aspect. Here's the bad news. I'm firing these old and busted French hand-me-downs from the 1960s.
Yep.
So I have to use my aircraft's radar to get a lock. And the Mirage's radar is, please tell me I didn't forget to put it on here. I know what the number is, but I want to make sure that, oh my God. I forgot to put it on there. This is supposed to say 8. Sorry, everybody. So I have to roll 8+ on a D10
okay.
to get a lock. Not very good radar because reasons. Only 2 of my aircraft are close enough to do this. That one is, and that one is. That third one technically isn't. There is a special rule about firing semi-active radar guided missiles. In fact, you know what? Just for completeness sake, let me see if I have the arc for that. In the frontal 60 degrees. You can fire at all aspects semi-active radar homing missiles, but only if they're in their front 60 degrees beyond distance. I know that came out terrible. I'm going to try that again. All right, so these semi-active radar-guided missiles can fire C8 is 5.56. Oh, yeah, that caliber of a weapon. Sorry, everyone. So these are semi-active radar homing missiles, okay? They can fire from any target aspect, which is good news for me. I don't have to be behind you to get a lock. That is this SARH and the NE. So that's the guidance type, and that's the target aspect. In Air War C-21, there's a special rule that says that an SA-8RH, semi-active radar homing missile, can fire from beyond its range if it has any target aspect ratio and you're within that 60-degree frontal arc.
Okay. So
I can fire from any direction, but I can fire from any range if I have you within that front 60 degrees, which looks like I barely do. I'm only saying this so I can fire all 3 of these missiles at once. And keep the game simple that way. So all 3 are going to try and get a lock on Harrier number 1. And I get a 3, an 8, and a 5. So only one of them gets a lock.
Okay.
That is missiles off the rail. Somebody's little canopy just lit up with some red lights. There's a missile fired. You have been fired upon.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I do chaff or flares?
You will shoot chaffs if required. Next turn when the missile hits.
Oh, so it doesn't. It takes effect next turn.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Missile is now in flight. It's heading towards you.
Gotcha.
So in your phase, what you're going to get to do. Notice the turn sequence. So there's prep segment, then there's movement segment, which we've already done. Then we do fire segment. I've just launched new missiles.
Yep.
We finish the turn. We start next turn. We do more movement. This is when you know that a missile's been fired at you. You can do breaks. You can do special maneuvers to try and shake the missile off. And then if none of that works, we get to the fire segment, resolve missiles that were fired last phase.
Gotcha.
That's when you fire off flares and chaff if required.
Gotcha. Okay.
Perfect. I say if required because this was a French missile, which means it's probably going to fall apart halfway through the time. These magics really are terrible. I'm sure they were great in their day, but it's like 20 years past their day. It's a 60s missile in an 80s war.
Yeah. Well, let's see. LSR said, oh, in quotes, old, busted French. Wow, none of that sounds good. And Tuffy Years said, do the Brits get the stiff upper lip save?
They get chaffing flares. That's it.
But how about a break for tea? Is there a timeout for tea?
No, unlike British tanks, Harriers do not have a tea kettle installed in the canopy.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I got my thermos of tea under my ejection seat. So whose turn is it now?
Awesome. I think we're ready to finish up the turn because I don't think anyone else is in range for anything.
No, because it was right at 26, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sidewinders have a range of 22, and you can I can't fire any magics because I already tried with my matches and missed. You can only engage with one weapon system per turn.
Okay, no worries.
So hit for fire phase. Nobody's going too fast. Nobody's going too slow. No one's in a stall. No one took damage. That's it. We now begin turn 2. Each turn comes with 2 phases.
So Jen just put, SitRep Podcast apologizes to any of our French viewers. You are cool. Your equipment wasn't always the best. It's all in good fun.
Hey, anyone who thinks I'm making fun of mirages, read one of watch our SitRep episode on the 6-Day War. When the Mirage destroyed 3 air forces in a morning, they wiped out the Egyptian Air Force, the Jordanian Air Force, and the Syrian Air Force, and then had lunch. I'm actually not kidding about that.
Yeah.
Mirages were awesome in the 60s. Unfortunately for these Mirages, it's not the 60s anymore.
Yep.
That's the difference. Okay, so we're in 2.1. I'm going to roll 2 dice for initiative. Oh, a 10-10 and a 6.
What? No bueno.
Nice.
All right. 7 and a 3.
We're moving Harrier number 1 first.
All right. Harrier number 1. Can you enlarge this, zoom in a little bit for me, please?
I do apologize. That is Harrier number 2 first.
2? Okay, that's fine.
Two roll.
And 2 is the one that's targeted by the missile?
Number 1 is targeted.
Number 1's targeted. Okay. All right. So I'm thinking I want to do a maneuver. I think we want to do maneuvers. So I got to write down.
Everyone in the chat, the way you play this game on a physical board is these maneuvers have cards, and you put them face down next to your aircraft if you want to try one. Obviously, we can't do that here, so what G is going to do is she's going to write down what maneuvers, if any, she wants to do for her 2 Harriers. Then I'm going to declare what maneuvers that I do. I'm going to do that on the screen, but I'm going to do it after G has declared what maneuver she's taking, and we're on the honor system. So long story short, we're both making our decisions blind. We're going to reveal them all at once, basically.
All right.
Stiff,
okay, I have chosen my 2.
Okay. Turn 2.1. Do I want to do any maneuvers? You know what? Just to show how the system works.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's the only way these Mirages have any kind of maneuverability. I just really hope I don't stall. God knows I'm going fast enough. Here's where the game kind of challenges you to plan ahead a little bit. Mirage 2 is going to try an Immelman. Mirage
an Immelman
is going to try an Immelman. Yeah.
When you get a chance, why don't you explain what an Immelman maneuver is for those who may not be familiar with it?
Okay, so super fast. Here are the maneuvers that are available in the game. Obviously, this is not exhaustive for people who know a lot about fighter combat, but just to barrel roll. A barrel roll is what everyone sees in the movies. It's not just an acrobatic maneuver. It actually does have a tactical purpose. What you do is you basically sidestep your aircraft. Your aircraft goes into an upward roll, rolls over on its back, comes back down. Same basic heading. You do lose some speed because you did have to gain altitude there while you were doing it. You trade altitude for airspeed. And when you kind of come back down, you're on the same facing and you're heading in the same direction. You're just sidestepped 60 degrees left to right. So barrel rolls are really good when you're making like a tactical kind of ground target. You're pointing at your ground target. You want to fire guns, you want to fire missiles or deploy bombs or whatever, but you also don't want to be heading in a straight line for enemy ground fire. So you kind of bounce back and forth using barrel rolls. And what that will eventually allow you to do is to get ordnance on the target. You keep the same heading, so you're still on target, but you're not heading in a straight line. Barrel roll and turn, same basic thing, except you do a little bit of a 60-degree turn at the end. An Immelmann is named after, it sounds like a funny name. It's because it's named after a German pilot in World War I. An Immelmann, what that allows you to do is you, in real terms, is you pretty much, you go ballistic. You pull up on your stick, you go straight up in the air, you roll over on your back, you kind of roll back over so that your back, you're no longer inverted. The good news is if you can pull that off and not stall, you come out of that second turn in pretty much any facing you want. So it's a good way to kind of turn any direction you want. Bad news is it requires a lot of power because you're pretty much going straight up for a few seconds, and then rolling over on your back and then corkscrewing again. So you wind up facing pretty much any direction, but you've dropped a lot of airspeed. It's great if it works. If it fails, you're probably going into a stall.
Yep.
Unload is pretty much a power dive. That's a super easy one. That's basically 3 extra thrust point, 3 extra velocity points. Brake turn is basically you jam that stick and you kick that rudder, and you dump everything in your afterburners, and it's just the hardest turn your plane can possibly do. It's just pretty much, it gives you 2 extra bands of maneuver on that turn, is what that pretty much does. The bad news for a brake turn is if you fail, you're probably going to go into a stall, or there's a possibility of going into a stall. No problem there. Or if that's not bad enough, you even on a successful brake turn, you cannot use your weapons. That's because your pilot is trying to scrape and scoop his brains back into his helmet. He's pretty much pulling like an 8G turn. He's going as hard as he can. Brake turn, because you cannot use your weapons in any turn in which you do a brake turn. It's pretty much for defense. It's when you're about to be hit with a missile or something, it makes it really hard for the enemy missile to hit you. A high yo-yo. This is when an enemy is coming towards you, and what you might try to do is you try to pull up, drop a lot of your airspeed, and when you come back down, you execute a turn during your dive. So it's almost like you pull up, and then as you're about ready to stall, and you kind of turn your plane a different way, and you hopefully drop down on the enemy's tail. Things you might have seen in the movies are Maverick's favorite move in Top Gun is a Hollywood version of a high yo-yo, where he slams on the brakes, he pulls up on the stick, the enemy shoots past him, and he drops back down behind him on his tail. He makes it look very easy. Obviously, look at the rating here. This is a very difficult maneuver, and if you fail it, holy hell, are you in a stall? So you got to be careful with that. A split S. A split S is pretty much an Immelmann in reverse. A split S is there's an enemy on your tail, or who knows what's going on. Basically, you want to change your direction very, very quickly. Mm-hmm. The way you do it is you roll over on your back and you pull up on the stick. And what you basically do is you, I'm doing hand motions like you can see me. That's not too smart. You invert the aircraft, you pull up on the stick, you drop down into a dive, an inverted dive, and hopefully there's enough altitude where you don't hit the ground before you pull out of it. And when you come out of that dive, you keep pulling up until the earth is back beneath you, so to speak. When you come out of that dive, you can be facing any direction. If successful, it's great for changing direction, for getting an enemy off your tail. If you fail it, this is where the Harriers really, I would really not suggest a Harrier do a split S, because if you fail it, your speed increases by 6. And I have literally failed a split S roll and blown my Harrier up just from VMAX. Just from going so fast, I tear my own wings off the plane.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't want to do that and blow the roll. And then VIF is a speed dump that only Harriers can do, or any VTOL aircraft can do. It might be helpful if there's an enemy on your tail. This is the real Maverick move, where you really jam on the brakes, deploy all your air brakes, you pull up on the stick, and for a minute you hang almost motionless. And you can drop your speed by up to 12, and the enemy soars right past you. That's if he's on your 6 and he's close. If you fail it, you drop by 12 completely. On a success, you get to reduce your speed by up to 12. So if you're going 11, remember your max speed is 13. If you drop by 12, you're down to 1. That's below your stall speed. Crash. So you don't want to fail a VIF, even with a Harrier. Yeah, Jen did that, and it's not good. A stall isn't an immediate crash, but it's not good news. Those are the basic maneuvers. So I'm gonna do 2 implements here. I'm gonna try to anyway. And this guy, you know what? Just to make everything nice and easy, because the last thing you want to do is split up your guys. You never ever leave your wingman. Don't you listen to Michael Ironside? In Top Gun? So my whole force is going to do implements. We'll just see what happens. Okay, so what maneuvers, G, were you declaring for your Harriers?
All right, both of them. I'm declaring barrel and a turn.
Okay, barrel roll with turn.
Yep.
Awesome. And we start moving planes per our initiative score. These are the initiatives that we had. Yeah. So the first one is Harrier number 2.
Yep.
So first thing we're going to do is we're going to make that roll and see if you succeed on your barrel roll. Barrel roll is a DR6. That's a target number 6 on a D10. You get to add 1 to your roll because you're a good pilot.
Okay.
We're all good pilots. So basically, you need to roll like 5+ on a D10.
Oh, I have terrible dice rolling skills. This is what gets me every time. 8 plus 1, 9.
Yeah, you made it.
So,
awesome. He pulled off that barrel roll like it was nobody's business.
Fan-freaking-tastic.
So barrel roll is turn. You move forward half your distance at 60 degrees to your flight path in any direction, and you make a 60-degree inward turn at the end of your movement. Your speed is reduced by 4.
Okay.
So here's part of what the game sort of challenges you to do, and we're gonna back up a little bit so that we give you the opportunity to do it right. You're currently moving at 11. Or Harrier 2. Currently moving at 11. Okay. Before you do this barrel roll, are you putting any speed into your any more throttle?
Let's see. I'm currently at speed 11. No.
One thing that the game allows you to do is, again, all the, like any good game, 90% of your questions can be answered by looking closely at the turn sequence. You can apply power because you know you're doing a barrel roll, and you know a barrel roll is going to cost you airspeed.
Yeah.
So I can apply the. You apply power. You apply your maximum 4 to 15. You're technically over your Vmax, but you're also in the middle of a barrel roll. So you do this, and then you apply your speed. Apply speed changes.
Oh, okay. So before we get to damage. Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Long story short, I know I went the long way around there. It allows you to temporarily be over speed.
Sure. No, that makes sense.
So you apply. You're at 11. So your pilot's doing 11. He's doing 550 knots. I'm doing a barrel roll. He pours throttle into his afterburner. He kicks his pedals. He goes into his barrel roll. Okay, so he's gaining and losing speed at the same time. He comes out of his barrel roll. He's back down to 11.
Yep.
Because he dumped 4 points of speed on his barrel roll. Awesome. So a lot of you're only going to get a half move because a lot of your speed is up and down. You're doing a barrel roll. That's where a lot of your speed goes. But what it allows you to do is move up to half speed. Your speed was technically 15, so we're going to move you forward 7 inches, 7.5 inches. And then once you're out of there, you get to do upwards of a 60-degree turn, but it has to be inward. Oh, I did that wrong. Sorry. Okay, we're going to try this over again. Okay, you get to move forward half your speed, but you get to go either direction up to 60 degrees.
Okay.
And each one of those is 15, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, out to the E. So pretty much you can either do this or this. And at the end of that, you get to make a further 60-degree turn in place.
Okay. Actually, move me to the right. I'm going to go off the right wing.
That's your 7.5 inches.
Yep.
Because that's 6.
About there, 7. Yep. That looks right.
7.5. Okay. of the barrel roll. So you kind of went up, rolled over to your right wing.
Yep.
Did a complete 360, and now you're back level.
Yep.
And now at the end of that, because you did a barrel roll and turn, you get to turn up to 60 degrees, but it has to be inward.
Yep.
So you don't have to. It can be anywhere between that.
Put me, what is that, H? Yeah,
okay.
Right there.
Like so. Awesome. And I'm going to keep this counter next to you because that does give you a defensive bonus, I think.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it gives the best against incoming fire. There's no missiles coming at you, but if any guns come at you, which is a possibility, you're going to get a bonus for that because you're harder to hit.
Yep.
Okay. That was initiative number 3. Now we do initiative number 6. That is Mirage 2. Mirage 2 declared an Immelman. Oh, please, baby. Immelmans are nice if they work.
All right. So I'm going to add dice to the screen. You should be seeing those. So I can roll right on the screen.
My Immelman is a difficulty of 7+. High-powered aircraft is a 6+. Low-powered aircraft is an 8+. Obviously, it's a lot easier to go ballistic if you have a lot of foot-pounds of thrust behind your aircraft.
Yep.
I have 6+ because we're all high-powered aircraft. We're also a good pilot, so now it's a 5+. E2, he failed his Immelman.
Oh, no.
Let's talk about what happens when you fail an Immelman. Aircraft moves forward exactly half of its movement and is turned to face a random direction. Speed reduced by 6. So I applied 3. We're assuming I applied 3. Then I dumped 6. So I'm down a net of 3 on Mirage 2. Mirage 2 is now moving 16. I moved forward exactly 11 inches because my speed was technically 22 for a second. And he's facing a random direction. Fortunately, I have a D12 here just for fun.
Hey, Novus Tuffler has joined us. Welcome.
Awesome. He is pointing at 4 o'clock, so he's actually pointing kind of right where he was. 4 o'clock is kind of more like that. And I'm going to go ahead and put a failed +2 because it applies a bonus. It invites a bonus. So he is a little easier to hit. So right now he's like struggling to maintain control of his aircraft. He's not worried about evasive maneuvers or anything.
Yeah.
He's like, holy crap, what just happened? All righty. That's my speed. It is now down to a 16. Now we go to your Harrier number 1, who's also attempting a barrel roll with turn.
Yep. All right, so I need a 10-sided dice.
Yep, and you're going for a 5+.
All right.
Modified for your good pilot.
I got another
Just
8.
Awesome. So we're assuming that you applied forward power.
Yep.
And then drop your 4 points. Never forget to do that. We're kind of allowing it retroactively because this is just like, you know. Or a split S without deploying air brakes, especially if you're in a Harrier.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, your speed was basically 7.5 because you went to 15 momentarily.
Yep.
Which way are you doing your barrel roll? To left or right?
To the right.
Okay, the full 60 degrees?
No, let's go to H as well.
Okay, that's 6, roughly 7. We'll call that 7.5. And now he gets to make a inward turn up to 60 degrees, up to the E.
Put him to E, please.
He is standing on that rudder. That's awesome. Stand by. Argentinians coming down. Oh boy, that's not good. Okay. This was a failed Immelman. I'll go ahead and get rid of that. All right, now I've got 2 more planes. A double 9. So they both made their Immelman checks. So we had 1 shipbird in our squadron. Everybody else did okay. Aircraft moves up to half distance forward and then maybe turn to face any heading. So now I get to pick where I go. I don't have to roll a d12. And I'm not attracting a bonus. So I was moving at 11. Oof. That's gonna make for a messy table. All right, you know what? I'm not going to apply power.
Okay.
And that's going to give me 14. Now, as far as what direction I'm pointing, here's the thing about a successful Immelman. Which way do I want to point? So these Argentinian pilots are doing well.
Yeah, they are.
They moved after you. They rolled better initiative.
Yeah.
So they pretty much waited to see what your pilots did, then reacted. So they've already gotten the better reaction time, and they get to pretty much point any direction they want. They come out of that Immelman.
It's pretty good.
So obviously they're going to choose to point directly at you.
Yep.
They might actually hit something with, and they got a plus. They got a fire bonus for anything that comes at them.
We shall see. We shall see.
All righty. And the last thing that happens in movement is this missile is coming straight at, what did I say, Harrier number 1. Missile inbound. Okay, so we're done with movement. Applied speed changes, no problem. Resolve missiles that happened last phase.
Yep.
Okay, that missile does have a lock.
Yep.
Okay, there's a number of modifiers here, both for you and for me. Missiles. Pilot skill modifier, I get a +1. Firers. Fire a missile fired from the front, no. Semi-active radar homing missile fired from the front, -1. Obviously, deflection is a thing.
Yep.
You never want to, if you can possibly help it, you always like to fire missiles from behind the enemy. So that pretty much cancels out my pilot bonus. I'm back down to 0. Fire from the target beam, no. From long range, this guy was not fired from long range. Inside minimum range, I did not launch without a lock. Target did a successful breakoff for a VIF, no. Target did a successful barrel roll and turn, -2. Ooh. So because you did a barrel roll and turn, that missile might spin right underneath you. Wasn't there a barrel roll turn in True Lies where you literally avoided a missile with a barrel roll?
Yes.
Yes, that literally just happened. Obviously, there's and are you firing any flares, or I don't even know if you have to. Are you firing any flares or chaff?
Yeah, why not?
It's a radar missile. It's a radar missile, so you're going to fire chaff.
Yep.
Okay, so you deploy a chaff. Oof. Off goes the chaff. That was Harrier number 1. Fires off 1 chaff. No, not calf, chaff. All right, you have 4 of those. I don't think you're going to run out. So that's another -2. So basically, I have a total negative of 4. +1 and -5. Like I said, Argentinian missiles, the best, they are not. A Matra medium-range air-to-air missile only hits on a 7. Now I have to apply 4 to that. I have to roll an 11 plus on a D10.
Yes.
Pretty much a 10 always hits.
Yeah.
So
it's
pretty much just a Hail Mary at this point. And I roll a 2. That missile goes right underneath you, and no joy on the missile.
Excellent.
You evaded that missile. Good work. You'll have to do better than that, little Argentinian man.
Okay, Toughy Ears, how's that for a Harrier pilot that's only a boy racer?
There you go, Toughy Ears. What do you think of that? I scoff at your French missiles. Okay, that took care of missiles fired last turn. Oh, you know what? That was Mirage 2. Just make sure I don't launch that missile again. All right, that missile is launched, and for no good. Maybe I hit a seagull. Who knows? Or a penguin. Jen, how are we doing on comments? Anything new? Because I'm literally getting nothing.
I asked a question if is chaff and stuff that sparkles when it's fired, and Rasmus said chaff are only -1.
Yeah, I said chaff. No, chaff is -2. Was the question we said there? Oh, you're right. Chaff is only -1. I still missed. Good catch. Good catch. Oh, what happened, Tough Ears? You missed the acrobatic move, man. G just totally evaded a French-built medium-range air-to-air missile. Okay, now we're into weapons fire. We're nowhere close for guns, so don't even worry about that. Missile time. Oops. Here comes the bad news for at least some of the Argentinians. Both Harriers have
range on that MiG-3, huh?
Yep.
Now, is there line of sight?
Sidewinders?
Is there line of sight in this?
No, there's no line of sight.
So I'm just wondering if Harrier 1 can hit MiG-1.
Mirage 1. Well,
I'm sorry, Mirage 1.
Here's the thing. That missile's not going to hit this turn.
Well, I know, but
so yeah, technically you can, but right now it's in other words, that +2 is not really going to matter.
Yeah.
So is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I gotcha.
To answer your question, Harrier 1 can fire a Sidewinder at Mirage 1 if he chooses. Harrier 2 cannot. Harrier 2 is just too far away.
But Harrier 2 could target Mirage 3.
Yes.
All right, so yeah, that's I think what I want to do.
Okay, cool. For a lock. Here's the huge difference in technology that's going to help out the British historically and also in all these games. Is that Sidewinder, an American-built Sidewinder, can target from any angle.
Yep.
Whereas the Argentinian missiles that might actually hit, I have to get behind you. I can only fire from your rear 180.
Yep.
So that can fire. You have to roll a 3+ to lock. So roll first for Harrier 1, I guess.
And it's a D10.
Yep.
Okay. 5.
That is a lock. Do you want to fire one or both Sidewinders?
What's the advantage of firing both?
Pretty much you have a lock. You can fire 2. That means you have 2 chances to hit.
Yeah, let's go
your
for
chances
it.
to hit are okay.
How many am I carrying?
2. So I don't.
I would care. I'm just gonna do 1.
Okay. It's 6 dozen 1 hand.
Yeah, it is. But at this point, let's
once you hit. Oh my God! You know what I'm getting on Twitch? I'm getting comments on something else here. Sorry, everybody. Oh my God! Now I have Twitch comments. Sorry, everybody. You know what I was doing? This is really embarrassing. You already know what. You're already laughing, aren't you? I was watching Ralph's stream from. Oh my God!
It's all good. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Okay. So I mean, I'm trying to run a game and play the Argentinians and watch Twitch stream. I was watching Ralph's interview with Ghost Ops. I was like, why is nobody commenting on my Mirages? Because you're watching the stream from 2 days ago, you fool.
It's funny.
I work at a tech company, guys. I promise. Okay, so he fires. He has a lock. He has a lock on Mirage 1. No problem. Harrier number 2 is trying to get a lock on Mirage 3. Roll a D10. You're looking for a 3+.
3+?
Yep.
All right. Oh, no. Big whopping 2.
Okay, you can launch the missile anyway if you want. You're just going to get a hefty penalty to hit.
What do you mean by hell?
-3 to hit.
Penalty.
-3 to hit.
And what do they hit on?
They hit on a 3+, but you're also firing.
So I need a 6.
Hold on.
Plus,
Condition.
you did an Immelman, right, on that one?
Well, that was this turn. That's not going to apply next
Oh, that
turn
doesn't apply. Okay.
Yeah. You fired infrared missiles from the front. That's going to be -2, and if you fire without a lock, it's -3. That's a total -5.
Oh no.
Against the 3, that's an 8+.
So
you get a -1 because
right,
of your skill. So now you're down to a 7, and then it's whatever bonuses I might get from potential special maneuvers next turn, unless I fail a special maneuver, in which case you're going to get a bonus.
No, you know.
So it's.
I don't think so. So just for clarification point for those that are watching, you have the option of not releasing the missile if you don't have a lock?
If you don't have a lock, you do not have to fire. Yeah, the game does say that if you get a lock, you have to fire at least 1 missile.
Gotcha.
You have the chance of ripple fire. Again, this is where you fire 2 missiles from 1 lock. You can do that if you want.
Gotcha.
What was I going to say? It's mostly a confusion thing. You can get a lock on somebody and not fire in real life.
Yeah.
I would allow it in like table rules or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's strictly a game, it's strictly a game confusion thing. Like, I have a lock on him. Remember? No, you didn't fire. Who has a lock on what? Who's on first? What's on second? It can get confusing, especially again. This is a pretty small battle.
Yeah.
So I think that's the only purpose of that rule.
Okay.
You are allowed to fire the missile if you don't have a lock. Like, sometimes the Argentinians do that. They just shotgun all their missiles.
Sure.
And they hope for that 10.
Yeah. No, you know what? We'll hold off on releasing the missile.
No worries. The American taxpayers, thank you for not wasting our $1 million piece of equipment.
Oh, what do they care? They sold it to England.
Sold
They'll
it.
just buy more.
We can just give it to them. There you
Just
go.
buy more. All right.
All righty. So that's going to be it because we're nowhere close to cannon fire. Okay, mine missile phase. Nowhere close for cannon fire. I am within range. Oh, I am within range. Mirage 2 is within range. However, fired her AMRAAM. So guess what? He ain't firing squat.
Yep.
This guy is close. He has a missile. He can try and get a lock. This guy's close enough, but guess what? He's pointing the wrong way.
Yep.
But you know what? That's a any aspect missile. So he's going to try and get a lock as well. Mirage number 1 rolls a 10, gets a lock.
Nice.
Harrier number 1. Mirage number 3 gets a 1 and fails. So AMRAAM number 2, or medium range air-to-air missile, I'll just say, is fired at at Harrier number 1.
Okay.
Just because things are starting to get a little weird here. So I don't lose track. That's Matra number 1 fired. And that was Harrier 1 fired off one side water. Awesome. Cool. That concludes our fire phase. Because no one's close enough for guns. Air-to-air gun attacks, ground fire, strafing attacks. No one's taking damage yet. No one's on a stall. No one's going too fast. No one's dumping ordnance. Okay, here we go. That's it for that turn.
Okay.
Conserve the ammo. That's right, especially when you don't have a lock.
You betcha.
There's a reason. There's a reason we have radar in our missiles.
This ain't the movies where you got unlimited missiles.
Right. I think even Top Gun introduced limited missiles. That was one of the plot points in the last thing. So when Top Gun keeps track of that detail, you should keep track of that detail. You don't want Top Gun to be more realistic than you. That's right.
What? It's not?
Right. Well, your snot-nosed jockeys did a flyby of my tower at over 400 knots.
All right, rolling
5,
initiative.
6, and, yep. 5, 6, and 8.
I got a 5 and a 4.
4. Okay, let's re-roll for our 5s.
Okay. An 8.
My 5 has to go first. So your 4 has to go first, then my 5-2.
Okay.
So Harrier 2 is going first.
Harrier 2 is going first. Woo. All right. I am not going to do any maneuvering at this point.
Oh yeah, that would be the time to. Are you declaring any maneuver? Okay. All right then. Super fast.
Yep. Super fast. All right, Harrier 2 is going to go all out. What speed am I at?
Number 3 is not going to do an implement because I got a kick-ass initiative. I'm going to be able to turn after everyone else.
Yeah.
Mirage 1. Mirage 1 is going to see if you can get that implement on the second try.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my only maneuver.
Okay.
Are you claiming any maneuvers?
No, I am not claiming any maneuvers.
Okay, cool.
So Harrier 2 is first for maneuver?
Harrier 2 is first, currently moving at 11, applying any speed changes up or down.
And I can do a speed change up to
4 either direction.
4, and my top speed is 14.
13. 13.
Let 13?
Yep.
Okay, let's add 2, because I'm at 11 currently. So that'll put me at my top speed. All right.
Movements are starting to come out of the airframe.
Yeah. All right, so we're just going to move ahead straight forward for half. And then I'm going to make my turn.
Here's where the Harrier shines. That E is beautiful. What you can do with normal maneuvers, I have to make a die roll for, and half the time fail at.
Yeah, and actually, I only want to turn to L to the left.
Okay. Got it.
And then move ahead the remainder.
Yep.
And
you can make another turn up to E.
Let's make it E.
There you go. That's a good move. Because now my Mirages, given their airspeed, are going to totally overshoot you. My only hope is last turn's Buffoon, who failed his implement check.
Yeah.
Someone's been watching Top Gun. Tuffy here says highway to the danger zone. Don't tempt me. But if I play copyrighted music on Twitch, we'll get in trouble.
Yeah, we'll get a copyright violation.
They don't play around with that stuff, too.
No, they sure don't.
On Twitch. I was watching a streamer, he was playing Empire at War, and in the game, they had the Imperial March for like 10 seconds, and he got pinged on it.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't play the music. It was a cutscene in the game. Well, sorry, that's copyrighted music. All right, so next got to go is Mirage number 1 with a 5-2. Initiative check. Oh, that's my guy who is currently going to try his implement. Okay, dude, time to redeem yourself. Testify. I need a 5+, because I'm a high-powered aircraft and I'm a good, supposedly a good pilot. No, I haven't shown it so far. 6, he makes it this time.
Okay.
Stand by. Jester's coming down. On a successful implement, I lose 5 in speed. So my speed is going to net reduce by 1. Man, I'm slowing down. I'm down to almost Harrier speed. That's sad.
Ooh, when do you stall out?
Oh, I don't stall till 6. But you stall at 4 because you're a Harrier and you're much better at low speed maneuverability than I am. Mirages are interceptors. They're originally meant to shoot down Russian bombers. So they're all about, I mean, look at how they're designed. I mean, they're literally a
dart.
Delta wing design.
Yeah, they're
literally a dart.
Yeah.
Flying yard dart. So
good
my
old
speed
darts.
is now 13, which means my half speed was 6.5. Now I can move any direction I want.
Yep.
This guy lost initiative, so I know where he's going.
Ooh. Okay.
And he gets a little bit of a bonus. Because this guy has a missile coming at him, right?
Yep.
One. Yep. Oh, he's got a slight bonus against that. Nice. Okay, next we go to the winner of the 5 tiebreaker, which is Harrier number 1. Harrier number 1 is currently moving at 11.
Okay. Huh. Okay. Let's make
Tough
it.
Years, that's an awesome. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Let's go ahead and
Tough
increase.
Years, that's a great piece of music there. The Battle of Britain March.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and increase speed by 2.
Got it.
All right, and let's move half.
Half of 13 is 6.5. Turn time.
All right. And so this is my first turn. I want to go E to the left.
God bless those Harriers. 6.5.
Yep.
We're definitely in dogfight range now.
You betcha.
See, now's when I wish my other planes declared independence.
And then I want to go H.
H to this. Whoa, what am I doing? Like so?
Oh, I'm sorry, not H. M.
M, I see a gunnery attack in my future.
Yep, that looks good to me.
It doesn't look so good to me. So, what's our range on that? We are definitely in gun range.
I believe we are.
Here's what you did right. Oh, I keep doing that. Stop doing that. You are inside the 15-degree arc you require for guns, obviously, and I am not.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so 15-degree, I'm smack dab in the middle of your 15-degree gunnery arc. Meanwhile, I cannot say my guns can only fire out to that gun arc there. So I can hit this guy arc-wise, but he's too far away. So this guy's safe because of this because of distance.
Yeah.
This guy is safe because of geometry.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, now I have 2 more Mirages. And I declared no special maneuvers for them. That's not good. He goes super fast.
Well, it's going to put you in my 6 for next turn. Yeah, we can fix that.
If it wasn't for special maneuvers, Mirages would never turn. These things are terrible when it comes to turning. Look at their wing area.
Yeah.
It's literally as maneuverable as they get. A little more precise. You don't have to get crazy precise, but be a little precise.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, that's gun range, but outside the 15 though, huh?
I get 1 more turn, but I don't think I'm going to make it. Up to him. Or hold on. Start over, make sure I'm doing this exactly right. Okay. In fact, let me zoom in a little bit. Because if I pull this off, it's going to be like really close.
Yeah.
So let me make sure I do this exactly right. He's at 12. So he moves forward 6. Be precise, he's precise. Now to M. Awesome. Moves forward full 6. Come on, come on. How fast can I push this forward to M? And that is absolutely not even close. Actually, I thought it was close. Because remember, it's blue dot to blue dot.
Yeah.
Blue dot, you're 60 degrees off my beam. No, there's no way.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it was worth a shot.
Yeah, it was really good.
And close. All righty.
Fantastic. Now we're talking. Now we're dancing in the sky.
Stand by. Jester's coming down. All right. Now we move missiles. I can't remember. My AMRAAM was engaging Harrier 1. And your Sidewinder was engaging Mirage 1?
Correct.
All right, cool. It's missile time.
All right.
Beep, 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 beep. I got towed. I'm taking the shot. Firing. Break left. All right, he didn't break, but he did do an Immelman, which is going to make it a little tougher to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. You start off on a 3.
Yep.
So here's the missile table. You start off on a 3 for your Sidewinder.
Yep.
Because actually, that's not true.
No.
That is not true. Sidewinders lock on a 3. They hit on a 2.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty easy to roll a 2+.
Yeah, but we got modifiers.
On a D10. It comes down to a 1+ because your pilot skill.
Yep. But you did an Immelman.
IR missile fired from target front. That's happened, so it's at -2.
Okay.
So now we're up to a 3+.
Uh-huh.
I did an Immelman, which is another 2, so now it's a 5+.
Okay.
I have no flares because I'm French. Actually, I'm Argentinian. I have no flares, so it's going to be a 5+.
5+ on a D10. All right, here we go.
Yep. Make this roll.
What do we get? Yeah!
Awesome.
That's a 6.
That's a hit.
That's a hit.
Missile hit, missile hit, missile hit. Allow me a moment of fun here. My useless game tokens. Boom!
Nice.
Okay. Damage is, I'm moving the wrong piece. Come on, nice. Let me have fun with my friends, so thank you very much. All right, that's a missile hit. Bam.
That looks awesome.
It is 1d10. That is 1d10 per damage. Sidewinder does 1d10. It's a small missile.
Okay. So I roll the damage, or do you roll?
Yep, you roll 1d10 as high as you can.
Okay. 2.
Okay, the missile kind of exploded off my wing and threw some shrapnel into me. So I take 2 damage points. Every single time you take damage, you also have to roll on the additional damage table. You roll a d10 to see what other crazy stuff might have happened.
Okay.
So you roll a d10 on this table.
All right, rolling a d10 on this table. A 1. No extra.
No extra damage.
Okay.
Okay, so it's 2 points of damage on Mirage number 1. You can roll on the, okay, so normally something happens. You knock out a radar, you knock out the gun, something happens. If you roll an 8, you're on the golden BB table.
Ooh.
That's what they call it. Yeah, the golden BB is something really crazy happened. And that's when you wound the pilot, you set the engine on fire, you knock out hydraulics, you jam flag, all kinds of.
All right. First blood drawn.
Yep. Did I put that damage on the right chart? No, I did not. I got it. It was on the wrong tab.
And what's the damage rating on the Mirage?
6.
Okay.
So one more point and he's crippled. If you had done one more point of damage,
I know. Dang it.
I would have been so VMAXed. Then he's going too fast for the condition of his airframe. He starts to fall apart in midair. Once you're at double speed, everyone. I'm sorry. Once you take half damage, your craft is considered your craft is considered crippled. And once you're crippled, bad things are happening.
Yeah.
Quickly. So these aircraft are not terribly. These aren't tanks. That's for damn sure. Okay, that's it for missile. Oh wait, I do have a missile coming at you.
Yeah,
My missile has
coming
a
at
lot
me.
less chance. It's pretty much I'm assuming you're firing chaff again.
I am. Is there a limited number of chaff that you get?
Yes, you have 4 per aircraft.
All right, so I've used.
This is your first one. You're now firing off your second.
Okay.
And that makes my roll basically a 10. 2. Nope, that missile missed.
Excellent.
You guys just dodging missiles all over the place.
Oh yeah.
Okay, there is no gunnery except for your gunnery against me. It is kind of a long-range shot.
What are we looking at here?
Oh, maybe not. Let's zoom in. Let's get a precise measurement. You are under 6 inches. Again, we go from the blue dot in the center of the aircraft to your blue dot.
6 inches.
You're
5.
like you're like at 5.1 inches.
Okay.
So you're definitely less than 6.
Okay.
So that puts you, I think, at medium range. From 3 to 6 is a minimum range. Okay, so here's how we figure out how much you have to fire. Those Harriers, I think, carry 20 millimeter autocannons. So, okay, you start off with 6d6.
Okay.
That was on our, for people who maybe aren't familiar, that is the 66 for a Sea Harrier's gun. So
66. Woo.
Well, there's a lot coming now.
Yeah.
Okay, 66. You're carrying 8 shots worth of ammo.
Uh-huh.
Okay. If you use 1 ammo point, you take 2 dice off of that. If you use a normal burst, it uses 2 bursts of ammo. You're fine. If you take a sustained burst, it uses 3 units of ammo, but you get an additional 2d6.
I'm going to use sustained.
You're not firing from the target B. You're firing from the target front. Half your dice. So you go from 6 up to 8. You take off half the dice because you're firing from the target front. Then you take half dice again because I performed a successful maneuver.
Oh,
except unload. This is the guy that did the successful moment. It goes down to 2 dice. You're firing at a guy who did the inland from basically 2 miles away.
Yeah.
From his front. So there's full deflection. So it's 2d6. You need a 5 or better to score a hit. Every success counts as a point of damage and another chance to roll on that.
So is that considered front or?
Yes. The way they do front is...
Is it the 180 degrees?
It's the front, 180 is the front. And then if you flip that around,
yeah,
the back 60 is considered like his tail.
Okay.
The area that's in between is considered the beam.
Okay.
Is what they call it.
All right. Okay, so I'm looking at 2 dice then.
2 dice, and you're looking for 5s or better on D. What the hell happened to my thing here? Oh my god. Hold on, one of my tools broke for some reason. 2, 3, 4. Okay. 5 or better on 2d6.
Oh, it's d6?
Yeah, d6s, and you're looking for a 5 or better.
All right,
hit.
2 on 2d6s. 1.
So one of those dice came up as a 5+?
Yep.
Okay, that's a point of damage to hit. He's now at 3. And then we roll again on, it's another source of damage, so you roll on the additional damage table. That's a d10.
Okay. 3. Dang it!
Had no additional damage. Okay, so he is now taking a 3rd level of damage, which means he is now crippled. He's crippled because he is at half damage. These Mirages have 6 damage points. He's now at exactly half. He's now considered crippled. His top speed just went from a 20 to a 10. your half speed instantly drops by half. So we're going to skip a little bit ahead in the turn sequence here. And what that's going to wind up is we're going to finish through the rest of the, actually, we're not skipping anything. Because I have nobody left that has I have one guy that has a missile left. Super fast, let me try that, just so I'm not skipping the sequence. A 7, he fails to lock on with his missile.
Can I fire from my other Harrier?
Yes. Yes, you can.
Okay.
That guy cannot lock on with a missile because he fired guns this turn. However, Harrier number 2 has lock on, and he'll be firing from the back of these 2.
I want to go Mirage. Which one is that? 2?
Mirage 2 or Mirage 3?
2.
There's Mirage 2. There's Mirage
2.
Okay. Going for tone. You get 3+.
And it's on a D10?
D10s. Yep.
Okay. Oh my god!
Oh no.
Son of a biscuit. So
no
I got
good. A 4. Again, you can launch anyway.
You know what?
And here's the thing.
Launch it.
He might. He doesn't. There we go. He's doing the Maverick without the lock. It can hit.
Yeah.
The modifiers are pretty steep, but here's the thing. You fire this one from behind. So he won't have to take that -3 off for an IR missile fired from the front. So you're pretty much trading one bad modifier for another.
Yeah.
Cool. That will complete our fire phase. So now we're not cheating to hit the turn sequence. Interference from the friendly guy, right? Hey, Rasmus, check this out. You're going to like this part. Actually, you may or may not like it. I know who's going to like it. G's going to like it. Okay, now we're doing the fire segment. We're done taking damage. Oh, wait, no, we're not. Because now we're in the speed segment. Nobody's in the stall. Excess speed damage. Is anyone doing excess speed? Oh my God. Yes, my Mirage number 1 is going too fast because he's crippled. Why is he crippled? Again, for people in the chat, he's taken exactly 3 points of damage. 3 points of damage and she's already laughing. Sure, he knows what's coming. Mirage 3 has damage of 6. So half of 6 is 3, obviously. He's now taken 3. That means he's crippled. One of the effects of crippled is your maximum velocity immediately drops by half. So this Mirage used to have a maximum velocity of 20. It's just short of Mach 2. I think 24 or 26 is technically Mach 2, depending on your altitude. Doesn't really matter. But I was going pretty fast. What was my actual airspeed? Actual airspeed was 13. That's 650 knots. My new maximum speed, safe speed, is 500 knots. I'm doing 150 knots too fast for my current condition of my airframe. In game terms, that's an additional damage point per level or per point by which I'm exceeding my maximum speed. So I'm exceeding my speed by 3. I take 3 additional points of damage. The Mirage hits, the missile, the Sidewinder hit, shredded the wing a little bit. Then the same Harrier, put a burst of 20mm cannon fire into it. Broke it apart a little bit more. The Harrier, the Mirage was fine, but now it's going too fast. Stuff started to come off the Harrier, or off the Mirage. The Harrier, the Mirage is now blowing up. Now I do my ejection to try and punch out. Ejection is 3+ on a D10 plus any excess of damage. So if you have a damage of, say, 6, like I do, and I took 8 points of damage, it's now a 5+ to safely eject. So obviously, if your plane is like vaporized by a gigantic explosion, it's tough to punch out of that. This plane is just barely blowing up, though. It's more or less falling apart in midair. It's not really blowing up. So this guy's got a pretty good chance to eject. He's not going too fast to eject safely, and he does not have the hazardous ejection special rule like the Army version of the Harriers, or the Royal Air Force version of the Harriers do, and the American Skyhawks in this war have the hazardous ejection table. But these Mirages don't, and the Navy Harriers don't. Basically, a 3+ to eject. He rolls a 7, he punches out clean, But that Mirage is toast. Splash 1.
So what would be if he didn't? What is the consequence if he had not survived the ejection? Do you get extra points in a game?
No, at least not in this scenario. It's literally just shooting down the aircraft.
Okay.
There are people who like to start a campaign.
I see.
You want to keep pilots going, and if they get so many missions, they get like a free bonus, so they start to go up. There's like green pilot, poor pilot, average pilot, good, experienced, and like elite or ace or something.
Yeah.
You get all kinds of bonuses.
Excellent. So that's really cool. So Splash 1, good show.
Splash 1. Oh no. The scenario is for 5 turns, but you don't have to go that long if you don't want to. But after 5 turns, no matter what happens, everyone has to break off because of fuel. And that's here in the, due to fuel consumption, only 5 turns are possible, then both sides must return home. I am informed that we have 20 people on the stream. Thanks very much, everyone, for stopping by.
Thank you very much. This game is really, really fun.
It's getting there. Okay, so I now have a new turn chart set up. I'm going to go ahead and just...
I know I'm saying that because I just blew you up, but no, it is a lot of fun.
That's fine. Well, again, look at the victory conditions. I mean...
Oh, I didn't even look at that. I figured it was just whoever's last person standing.
1 Harrier shot down, automatic Argentinian victory.
What?
Automatic. You have, between your 2 carriers, HMS Hermes, HMS Invincible, 23 Harriers. I have over 250 combat aircraft. Your next aircraft for reinforcement is 12,700 kilometers away. And that's aboard HMS Atlantic Conveyor. Oh, by the way, we just put 2 Exocet cruise missiles into that. So this is almost like a space game for the Falklands. That's so far away. What you got is what you've got.
Yeah.
There is no help.
All right.
You have to bring these planes home. You have to bring these planes home.
It's heavy. That is heavy. Okay.
In real life, not a single Harrier was lost in air-to-air combat in the Falklands War. A grand total of 6 were lost, 2 to ground fire, 1 crashed on takeoff, 1 literally fell off the carrier in an ice storm, and then 2 crashed in a mid-air collision. But not a single one in the entire war was brought down by air-to-air combat. So if you lose 1, this is the essence of historical gaming. If you lose 1, you've already done worse than the Royal Navy did.
Fantastic.
So therefore you lose.
No pressure or anything.
Nope. Initiative time.
All right.
9, 3, and... Oh, I just rolled 3 dice. That's kind of dumb. My ejection seat automatically loses initiative. I'm going to re-roll that because I don't know what dice to take out of those results.
10 and a 5.
5 and a 10. I literally rolled a 10 and a 5.
All right.
So we have to
re-roll.
Give me 1 second to... Yeah, he's toast. All right, so 10 and 5 and 10 and... Okay, 10. We'll do our 10s first. I roll another 10.
Oh, we were doing them individually? Well, I rolled a 10 and a 1, so... You want to do it individually? I'll re-roll. Hold on, let me clear that.
Okay, no, that's cool. That's cool. All right, so I rolled a 10 and a 5. I rolled my 10 for my 10.
Okay.
It sounds like you rolled a 10 as well.
Yep.
Let's roll another dice.
Okay.
I break on double 10s. I roll a 4.
All right. Rolling a 10. I got a 4.
Oh my God. Quadruple tiebreaker.
Uno mas.
2.
I got an 8.
All right, you finally won the initiative.
Woo, thank God. I needed it this turn.
Oh my God. Okay, now for the 5s, I will roll a d10. I get a 5.
Okay. And a 5.
Oh my God. These guys are serious. I roll a 5 again.
A 10.
There you go. You won all the initiatives. No worries.
Harpoon,
Okay,
if
so
you
my Mirage.
Chromecast the YouTube, you should be able to do it because we're on YouTube as well. Somebody was saying they couldn't Chromecast the stream on Twitch. You should be able to do it through
I mean,
YouTube.
we're all over the place, right? We're on YouTube, we're on Twitch, and we're also on Facebook. I think you said.
Yep, we're on all three right now.
Also on tabletop. Awesome.
Yep.
Okay. So the first person to go is my Mirage number 3. Okay, we rolled initiative. I'm just going to go ahead and declare.
Oh, you're doing invulness again.
Ooh. I have to. You're on my 6. And these things turn like a school bus, so. And I have to be behind you.
Yeah.
In order to launch any kind of.
Well, that's right. You use your other missiles. So it's either guns or your. Yeah.
I have 1 magic left. But I think I'm within minimum range on that. Those things only fire from a certain distance. Harpoon 71. Harpoon 71. Do you play Harpoon? Is that why you have that screen name? If not, no worries. But we're playing something very similar to that for our naval aspect of our Falklands game. But I'll wait for you to head over onto YouTube to see what's going on there. Okay, so any maneuvers from you?
Maneuver-wise?
Now that I've kind of tipped my hand? Yeah.
Woo! Can you bring up the maneuvers again, please?
Sure. Come on, click on it.
Let's see.
So can you see all 8?
I can.
Okay. Ooh, I did not mean to zoom in that much. There we
go. No, I don't think I am.
Okay.
I don't think at this point I am.
Alrighty. It is time for the loser, that's 5-5, Mirage 3, to roll his D10 for his implement. 7, he makes it.
Oh, okay.
He comes out of that at 10. Because he picks up 3. I can only apply 3. He picks up 3 and loses 5 in the implement. So my speed was temporarily 15. No. Yeah, 15. So that's 7.5 inches. That is current heading. The wrong Mirage. No, it's Mirage 3. Sorry.
Ooh, did a hammer.
Going ballistic, Bab. Go and get him.
Woo.
Okay, and that is going to be it for Mr. Mirage 3. Now we go to Mr. Harrier 2.
Harrier 2?
Harrier 2 is currently moving at airspeed is 650 knots, 13.
Okay. Let's see. You know what? I'm going to keep the speed.
Okay.
So
keep the speed at 13.
Yep. If you can
and
move
then
me 6.5.
This thing keeps growing. I don't know what's happening. It's something to do with the zoom. Trying to keep it where it's correctly scaled.
Are you able to lock it down so it doesn't?
Not really.
Not really.
Give me 1 second to. Okay, it's fixed. Yeah, because in order for this wheel and these rulers to work, they have to stay right in scale with the.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's at 13, so he's moving forward 6.5, and then he gets to turn up to an E.
Let's go M to the left wing.
Okay. His left?
Yep.
Or my left?
No.
Okay.
And then move the rest. And once you're...
And again, he can move up to E. Return up to E.
Let's go E. To the left. His left wing.
His left. Cool. Alrighty. Now I have to move Mirage number 1. Mirage number 1. Immelman time. Come on, man, please. Give me some sugar, baby. 3. He fails that Immelman.
Yes.
Oh, Argentina. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Do not ban me on Twitch for singing copyrighted music. What's my speed again? Was doing 10, goes up to 13, and then drops by 5 to 8. So for a while there, I was doing 13. So that makes my speed 6.5. Let's see which way he winds up facing. D12 for raise of the clock. Is at 1 o'clock. He went into almost a flat spin for a second. And he wind up going that way. More dangerously, he is on a fail.
Yep.
And he said, for him, dangerously low, he's only 100 knots above stall speed.
Nah, gotcha.
Oh, Mirages. You're not beating up the Egyptians anymore, are you? This is what happens when you're up against the real Air Force. All respect to the Egyptian army, but their Air Force was not all that in the 60s. Okay.
All right.
And we have missiles that your Sidewinder was fired without a lock at, I think, Mirage. Was that Mirage 2?
What's that?
Your Sidewinder last turn was fired without a lock at Mirage 2?
I haven't moved my other Harrier yet, Jim.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
I don't apologize. I'm losing this game badly enough.
All right, so actually I'm
sorry, if you're still on the stream, I totally predicted this yesterday. Because, I mean, yesterday's Dark Star game was almost like embarrassingly, like, I won that game almost to an embarrassing degree. And it's like, you know what this means? This means that tomorrow I'm going to have my absolute head handed to me at Air Force C-21. All right, so Harrier 1 still has to move.
I'm going to reduce speed to 10.
Okay. Air brakes. Got
it. So if you can move me half, please.
That is out to 5.
And turn me to E, to the left. Moving 5. And move me to E, please. Okie dokie.
Mirage 2. You were firing at this Mirage last turn, right?
That is correct.
With your Sidewinder?
That is correct. It did not have lock.
No, it did not have lock, but it is coming at. It was fired from a rear
yes.
aspect.
Yes.
And then I blew my Immelman.
Yes.
I just realized that. Oh
yes.
No!
Woohoo!
Oh my god! You demand to blow up more. Yeah, well, you know what? She's working on it now because science teacher. She's working on it. Okay. Oh my god. You know what? The British were losing so many of these games. I was starting to think the game was broken. I'm glad that the British are finally winning one. Because again, the British did not lose a single Harrier in.
Hey, quit trying to jinx me.
In And I'm just saying that, yeah, the second one goes down, you've broken with history. So I'm glad that's turning out this way. All right. No, seriously. I have no gunnery. I have no missile. I have one missile left. I'm going to try and get a lock real fast. Let me get my terrible fire phase out of the way. Going for a lock on Harrier 2. 4, that's a negative. All right, that's it for my combat phase.
Okay.
Now, resolve missiles that hit last turn. Okay, that's going to be your Sidewinder.
Do I get missiles?
Yeah, you know what? I'm doing this kind of out of sequence.
Okay.
We're supposed to resolve missiles from last phase first. We will totally fire your missiles.
Okay.
I promise.
Okay. All right.
I'm literally just getting the Argentinians out of the way because I have no guns. I have no missiles.
Gotcha. Okay. Fair enough.
Okay. It hits on a 2. Goes down to a 1.
Yep.
Not from the front. Not from the beam. Not from within minimum range. Launch without a lock. It goes up by 3.
So
4. That's up to a 4. Target stalled or failed maneuver with a fire bonus is indicated +1. So it goes
3.
back down to a 3.
Yep.
3+.
3+. All right.
That +2 for people who are watching, that +2 is for gunnery.
All right.
It is what that fail +2 is.
Okay. 3+. Come on.
Yep.
Yes!
Oh, what's a hit? Splash 2. Well, we don't know that yet.
All right.
But, it's definitely. Oh, let me get my little fun-time explosion out here. Everyone's favorite counter. Okay, D10 for
damage,
for
right?
1d10. Yep.
All right. 5.
Boom!
Right in the tailpipe, baby.
Roll a D10 for the additional damage table.
8! Woo!
You're on the golden BB table. This is awesome. I was hoping this would happen at least once. Golden BB table. Roll another D10.
8.
8. Violent engine compressor stall. Aircraft immediately stalls and spins. Recover as normal. So how much damage? How much trouble is this pilot in? Okay, let's go through it step by step because this guy's got so many problems. You're talking about Mirage 2. Oh, he's toast anyway. I thought it was Mirage 3. Wait a minute. Whoa. I think I have these two speed rolls mixed up. You know what? Don't even worry about it. If I got it wrong, I got it wrong on my. It's you snooze, you lose. I thought Mirage 2 was going at 8 and Mirage 3 was going at 12, which would actually make a big difference right now. The guy that failed his roll is probably going slower. It's going at 12, increased by 3. And then lose by 6. So it is 8. Okay, never mind. It is 8.
Okay.
The guy that failed is, yeah, because the failure means I reduced by 6. So I was going at 12. I reduced by 2. I increased by 2 to 14, and then lost by, I failed the roll, so my speed is reduced by 6.
Okay.
So he's the one going at 8. So he's actually not going over speed for purple.
Okay.
Just mix these two up. I mean, he's probably still dead, but not instantly dead. Okay. So he is Mirage. Oh my God, I did have it right. So stupid. Sorry, everybody. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points of damage. He obviously is crippled. His new max speed is 10. Fortunately, he's at 8, so he doesn't immediately come apart.
Okay.
However, he is in a stall.
So how do you resolve a stall?
Oh, that's fun. And by fun, I mean not really. Stalled aircraft do not. Now, okay, so attempt stall recovery. I don't get to move at all next turn. I'm just considered to be stalled.
Okay.
And obviously, I'm much easier to hit.
Yep.
And when he comes out of the stall, actually, wait a minute. Let me read that on the golden BB table.
It says you can resolve a stall as
Pilot
normal.
engine compressor stall. Yeah. Aircraft immediately stalls and spins. So I immediately stall and spin. Long story short, let me resolve the spin. I'm at 7 o'clock. So he is currently facing 7 o'clock. So next turn, I don't get to move at all.
Okay.
I don't even have to roll initiative. He's literally hanging there motionless for a minute.
Okay.
He's pretty much falling right out of the sky. At the end of next speed segment, I get to attempt stall recovery.
Okay.
I roll a d10. It's actually pretty easy to recover. If I recover, then I resume movement next turn as normal at the minimum speed for my aircraft, which for me is a 6. So it's move 3 inches, turn, move 3 inches. If I fail the stall check, I roll another d10 to see if I immediately crash. And that's pretty much because this game doesn't really track altitude. So we don't know exactly how close he is from the ocean.
Sure.
But he's falling out of the sky and he's trying to restart his engines.
Okay.
And he's only got 1 damage point left. So he's in real trouble. He's having all kinds of problems right now. And okay, meanwhile, you have more missiles that you can fire. I promise we would get back to that. We are within range for Sidewinders.
Yep.
Easy range for 2 Sidewinders.
Yep.
You are on front aspect ratio. That's the only problem. So both Harriers 1 and 2, both Harrier 1 and 2 have both fired one Sidewinder. That leaves us with 2 Sidewinders left. Are each aircraft going to try to fire a Sidewinder?
Yep. Sure are.
Okay, Harrier 1, who are you trying to get a lock on?
That would be Mirage 2.
Oh, you have no mercy on that poor guy, huh?
Nope, there's no mercy.
Okay. There's no mercy. Roll a
D10.
roll a D10. You need to get a 3+.
How about a 10?
There you go. Isn't technology wonderful? Isn't being allied with the Americans wonderful? Look at all the nice toys they give you. Okay. Then again, Marine Corps have been using their Harriers for God knows how long.
That's right.
Okay. Harrier number 2. Who are you firing?
He'll go against Mirage 3.
Go for tone. 3+.
6.
Ooh, I got tone. I'm taking the shot.
Loving it. Loving it. God bless the British.
And that's going to conclude our turn. Temp stall recovery. Again, I know I said always go by the turn sequence. It specifically says that stalled aircraft do not move next turn. So I have to go through at least one whole turn. At least the way I'm really reading the rules, I have to go through at least one whole turn and stalled. Otherwise, there's barely any point in being stalled. Okay, you're going to say something?
Oh, no, I was just going to say, by reading that, it looks like you try to attempt a stall recovery now. I don't know. I guess I'd have to refer to the actual rule.
The rule says that stalled aircraft do not move at all next turn. Then they get a chance to roll
recovery.
So I think that, I think right now, I think I have to skip my first stall recovery.
So then the question is, do they get to fire? I'm assuming not.
No.
Okay.
No, he's
incapacitated.
Unless you're nice enough to move like right in front of him. I mean, I don't think you're gonna do. I don't get to move. I don't even roll initiative. So he basically loses initiative automatically.
So
you have to almost want to die.
Yeah. So you're rolling 1 for initiative.
I am starting a new turn.
Yep.
Come on. There's 3.2. Thanks one more time, everybody, for showing up to our stream
Yes,
where
thank you.
I'm having my head handed to me here in Air War C-21. That's okay, though. I want the home team to do well. All right, so I'm going to roll my 1d10 for initiative. That is Mirage number 3, who rolls a 3.
10 and a 7.
Okay, so that is Mirage 2. Doesn't even have to worry about it. 3, 10, 7. Declaring no maneuvers. Are you declaring any maneuvers?
No, not at this time.
Okay. That wasn't actually quite. Let's do that again, shall we? Come with a little bit of precision. Oops. Come on, Jim.
It's all right.
Wake up, why don't you?
Interesting. Huh. All right.
Rule number 1 of dogfights, turn into the enemy whenever you don't know what's coming. It works in Darkstar.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything else, you're going to force you're basically playing defense for a turn, and you're hopefully forcing the enemy to overshoot. Like, I know you're not declaring any maneuvers, so, which technically in a real game, you could put down a blank card. I don't know that you're not declaring any maneuvers.
Right.
But that was the point of that. Accelerate and turn towards the enemy. When in doubt, anybody who ever tries this game, or really any kind of realistic fighter game, I'm pretty sure this works the same way as in X-Wing. If you lose initiative and you don't know what the enemy's, turn toward the enemy as hard as you can, you'll at least force them maybe to overshoot.
Yep.
I mean, this guy also has a Sidewinder coming at him, so his odds aren't that great. But at this point in the game, I'm just doing everything I can.
Yep.
No hard break to avoid the missile. You know what? That's actually a good point. It's way too late, but that's actually, you know what? I probably should have done that. Damn it. Good call, science teacher. You know what? You're playing the next game. We'll turn this from a dogfight into a cat fight. It's going to be great. Blades Runner versus GM.
All right.
We'll get some views on that. All right. Because you're right. I totally should have done a hard break there to at least avoid the missile. Knowing my luck, I would have failed the hard break. Okay. So that's it for my movement.
Okay.
Your movement. You are moving at.
Which Harriers got next?
They both go together. They both won initiative. I'm pretty much done moving right now.
Okay, so it doesn't matter which one I move then, as far as you're concerned.
Harrier 1 is moving at 10. Harrier 2 is moving at 13.
Okay, so Harrier 2. Let's see. Let's reduce Harrier 2's speed to 10 as well.
Okay.
And go ahead and move him 5.
Harrier 2, we'll do Harrier 2 first. No worries.
And I want to turn him to I'm trying to see here what I want to do.
Zoomed in a little bit.
Go ahead and move him M to the left, his left wing. Yep. Move him out to 5.
Oh no, I see what's coming.
And then I'm going to assume that bird's going to go down this turn. Move him right wing E.
Right wing E. Okay. Yep. Let me look something up on the rules super fast.
Okay.
Because you just moved right into my gun arc. But I don't know if I'm allowed to fire weapons while stalled.
I would assume not, since you're trying to recover from the stall.
Yeah. I'm almost positive you're right.
I mean, if you're going off a basis of realism, when an aircraft stalls, all you're worrying about is getting it back into flight. There's no way you could fire anything in a stall.
All aircraft does not move in the next phase. That's where I skipped my first thing. At the start of speed, second of the phase.
So yeah,
it doesn't say, but I'm going to go ahead and agree with you.
Okay.
I mean, firing while stalled is just kind of silly.
Yeah.
It literally doesn't say that in the. It talks all about how to recover a stall. They probably didn't put it in the rules just because it literally makes no sense.
Yeah.
It's like aircraft fly in the sky, not on the ground. You know, never mind Iron Eagle. But yeah. Also, it's like right on the line. If I was to take if this was like a tournament and I wanted to make an argument or four up that, it would be me totally being cheesy. But you know what? No.
I mean, if it's in the rules, it's in the rules. But I mean, if you look
at
it
not
from
in the rules, it's not in the rules.
Yeah,
if it said in the rules aircraft could fire while stalled, I would be like, oh, okay, that makes no sense. But I'll play the rule as written.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make any kind of distinction. So now we're up to our own devices. And yeah, we both agree that firing guns while stalled with any kind of accuracy just sounds retarded. Cool. So that's going to be it for Harrier 2. We're going to go ahead to Harrier 1.
Yep.
For movement.
Okay, so Harrier 1 is going to, I think I'm at 10, correct?
Yep.
I'll continue 10.
Yeah, you're at 10.
Okay, I'll stay at 10.
Don't fly off the map.
Oh, no.
You don't count as a shot down aircraft, but you do count as breaking off the action.
Yep. No, I'm definitely not going to go off the map.
All right. Cool. All right, so I'm sorry, move forward 5.
Uh-huh.
Pay attention, Jim. There we go. Okay, there we go. And now for your first turn.
E to the left.
Hard to port. 4, 5.
Do you see where I'm going? Why don't you put me on E? E to the left, please.
Slightly overshot, but I think you still got it in the arc. You definitely still have it in the arc. Yep. Awesome. Oh no, poor Mr. Mirage. Okay, like I said, he doesn't have enough problems. Okay, so we've done all movement. Let's go ahead and move missiles. This guy was heading straight on toward the stall guy. This guy was heading straight on towards that guy. And Mirage 3. Let's do the turn sequence correctly. Two Harriers could hit each other in midair, Rasmus. That's actually how 2 Harriers were lost in the actual Falklands War.
It ain't gonna happen, brother. It ain't gonna happen.
On the count of 3, break hard right. Wait, you're right or am I right? Now you got me all mixed up. It's almost for quoting bad movies.
That's right.
Okay. Let's resolve missiles from last turn. So first, missile versus stalled guy. That is going to be 1 becomes minimum range. Nope. Fired with a lock. No bonus. It's 1 for the failed maneuver or target stalled or failed the maneuver. So it's 1 for that. You're down to a 0. It's up to a 3 because you launched from the front. IR missile fired from front. I'm sorry, a 2. So let me make sure I got this right. 2 becomes 1 for pilot skill. Becomes 3. Sorry.
That's okay.
2 becomes 3 for pilots. No, sorry, 2. 2 becomes 1 for pilot skill. Becomes 0 for firing at a stalled aircraft. Plus 2 because you fired from the front. IR missile fired from front is -2. Yeah, it's going to be a 2+ to hit that plane with a missile.
2+. Okay.
D10. I shouldn't be too hard. You're almost firing at an almost stationary target.
How about a 1?
You've missed. Yeah. Now you just feel sorry for me.
Seriously. Oh, it shouldn't be too hard.
I thought maybe you just feel sorry for me.
That's okay. I got guns on you.
That's cool. Guns are more fun. All right. Now let's do this guy.
Yep.
Who is the same, except he's firing a 3+ because he's not stalled.
So 3+?
Yep.
All right. And a 4.
Okay, that's a hit. D10 for damage.
Yep. Come on, big one. 6.
Splash 3.
Woohoo!
Well, we don't technically. Yeah, we haven't splashed the third one yet, but he's pretty much splashed. And yeah, that's already 6.
Yeah.
We're not really tracking, so he's already shot down just for fun. And completeness, D10 on the additional damage table.
Okay. How about a 9?
9 engines damage, reduced power by 1. Well, he's already exploded. Yeah. So if he even managed to survive that, he'd have all these additional problems.
Okay.
He is toast. He rolled exactly. He's exactly on the money. He's not going faster than 16. Basically, if you're going more than Mach 1 when you punch out, you have all kinds of additional problems. So he has to roll basically a 3+ to punch out. 7. He punches out clean.
All right.
Mirage 3 is toast. And now we go to guns.
Guns, baby.
Mirage number guns. Okay. You are within 3.
Is that
if we zoom
short
in,
range?
Yeah. So if we zoom in, I'm going to go ahead and move this up front just so people can get a good look at this, how precise this game can get. So again, dot to dot, I'm using the very tip of those little prongs on my ruler there. He's within 3. So from the center line, the center dot of that Harrier, that's his true location. He's firing towards the blue dot on that Mirage. He's within 3. So I'm assuming you're firing an extended burst.
I am letting guns all go. Weapons are free.
Down the trigger. All right, Harrier 1. We did not track him. He fired 3 rounds before. Now he's firing another 3. He has plenty of guns.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, please.
Let it all go.
Now another 3 round burst. Even after this, he's going to have 2 bullets left.
Yeah.
Or 2 ammo points left. Okay, so we start off with 6. Then you get 2 more because you're firing an extended burst. That brings you up to 8. That brings you up to 9 because you're a good pilot. I forgot to give you that 9th one last time.
That's okay.
You still shot me down, but so now you're up to 9. That makes a difference when you start cutting things in half because you round it up. So gunnery bonuses. Okay, now you have the 3+ is going to score as a hit. So, well, hold on. Let's see what else we got. Short burst fired from target beam. No. Target stalled. You get 2 more dice.
Ooh, 10 dice.
I literally run out of no, 11 dice.
11.
6 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2. 6 plus 5 is 11 dice.
Okay.
And then target from front half dice. So that 11 becomes 6.
Okay.
So now you're down to 6 dice, but a 3+ counts as a hit now, not a 5+.
All right, 6 dice. D6s, right?
66, 3 pluses count as hits.
All right, 66, 3 pluses.
Yep.
Oh yeah, 5, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3,
So
4, 5 hits.
5 hits. He already had 5 hits on him. Now he's at 10 hits. Roll on the additional damage table on 1d10, please.
Okay. I got a 2. No extra damage.
No additional damage. That was enough, in the words of Airwolf. It's empty. It was enough. That's the so he's 10 levels of damage. The plane blows up. My target to punch out is a 3 plus 4 because I'm at 4 points over damage. So that plane got shredded. It didn't just explode. It blew up. So I have to roll a 7 plus to try and punch out. And he rolls a 2. That is a KIA. He does not punch clean. He probably catches one of those cannon rounds in the chest as the plane explodes. That is game and set and match.
Wow.
Splash 3. That is all she wrote for the Argentinians. And I believe that's a major British victory. No Harriers, and yeah, so if we look here on the victory table, total British victory is no Harriers lost and 3 Mirages are lost, which is just what happened, and probably also what happened historically. The Argentinian Air Force and Navy were pretty much savaged by these Harriers, mostly because of the Sidewinders.
Those missiles rock.
Yeah. Although, honestly, you did score 2 kills, the final part of the kill with guns.
Yeah.
Softened them up with missiles, then finished them off with guns. That was awesome.
Which in modern air combat is extremely hard to do. Going guns. Everything is done by distance.
Well, you have to get so close, yeah. And that's what the Argentinians kept trying to do. I've been playing this game for a while now, and the Argentinians, I know I didn't show it well here. What the Argentinians usually manage to do is get close. One of the things that immediately went wrong for the Argentinians in this game was that very, very first roll where we selected our approach vectors. Didn't select our approach vectors. We rolled for our approach vectors. You were coming in at 2. I was coming in at 7. I was like, oh, I already know how this one's going to go because we're at a distance. And that's when missiles count, and that's when the British have all the advantages.
Yeah.
I was playing a game with Jen where she was coming in from 6 and I came in from 7. And then she lost initiative. So she came on the table. I came in here in the corner. I turned. I was right behind her. Full extended burst from 3 Mirages. That shot down 1 Harrier. And again, I can lose all 3 Mirages at that point. I still win. Once 1 Harrier goes down, again, there are the victory conditions. Once 1 Harrier goes down, that's a lost battle for the British. They can't afford to lose these Harriers. Really, really can't. Which is good because you didn't. That was awesome.
Well, thank you. That was a lot of fun.
I'm sure it was. That was golden. That was good. That's the way these battles are supposed to go. When you play the Russians or the Argentinians or the Egyptians in these games, and you're like the big historical guy, and then you kind of get the hell kicked out of you, it's like, you know what? That's the way it's supposed to go. So you wind up not feeling so bad. There's a little bit of solace to that. So no worries. So I'm looking at the chat here. Male figure Ko. Yavasa. Oh, Yavasa. Hell no, man. Dude, it's been forever since I've talked to you. I hope you're still in the chat. I hope you're still in the stream. Yavasa, if you're still with us, thanks very much for stopping by.
Awesome.
Harpoon 71. A stalling aircraft is busy trying to point its nose towards the ground and gain speed. Yeah. They don't say it in the rules, but I have a funny feeling that they kind of assume that was common sense. It just seems to make sense that even if the enemy is kind enough to blunder straight in front of you at point blank range, they're safe to do that because the last thing you're worried about is firing cannon rounds at people. So, cool.
Well, thank you, Jim. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks very much for helping facilitate our stream today. And thanks for everybody who stopped by.
All right, people. Well, thank you all. And we will catch you on the next one. Take care, everybody.
Take it easy, everyone. Thanks very much.